We are not going anywhere. That's the message prosecutors in Illinois have for whoever is responsible for the disappearance of a 5-year-old boy, as his parents are no longer talking to police.
And I'm Josh Butter, live along Verona Road this morning, where crews move forward with a construction shift overnight. How that will impact your commute and area businesses coming up.
From the Channel3000.com Alert Center, this is News 3 Now this morning.
Good morning and welcome to News 3 Now this morning on this Wednesday, April 24th. And I have to laugh because Josh is always so well put together. He's always texting us so we match. And today he's looking so stylish.
He matches the sunshine.
Matches the cones.
He looks
and
great.
And the cones,
Yes,
yeah.
yes.
I was going to go with sunshine.
Yeah,
but
that beautiful
Safety
sunrise
first.
behind him.
Always safety first. So good on Josh for wearing the safety gear this morning. We have a beautiful sunrise underway, though. Official sunrise is 6:02, so just a minute from now.
Oh, wow.
You can just start to see a glimpse of the sun on the horizon. Looks a little hazy in the distance. No real issues with fog, though, this morning. Skies are clear, as you can see. Sun's going to stick with us all day. As expected, temperatures have dropped here in Madison. We're down 2 degrees to 39, so a chilly start to the morning. 40 in the Dells, 41 in Janesville, 37 this morning in Boscoville. You'll need a light jacket early, but you'll be carrying it later on this afternoon as highs reach 67 degrees with a light south wind. Another beautiful day, just like yesterday. Our look at our traffic report this morning. Let's take a look at those maps and show you what's happening on area roads. No major issues to report right now on the Beltline or in the downtown areas. We're watching Verona Road, where some delays are likely to develop with new traffic patterns that take effect today. But right now, if you are heading into Madison, looks like you're going near posted speeds on all those major routes into the city.
slow moving though on Verona Road already.
Yeah. I would expect the delays to increase there. It's always confusing when they change things around.
Always. Avoid that road like crazy.
Yeah, if you can. Thanks, Hattie.
You're welcome.
So speaking of Verona Road, drivers can expect backups and delays. You heard Hattie already as construction crews move forward with construction in the area today.
This phase was pushed back, actually, from earlier this week when those storms rolled in. Josh Spreiter is live near Williamsburg Way with how this will disrupt your drive and even businesses around there. Good morning, Josh.
Yeah, good morning. We are already seeing massive delays out here this morning. Overnight, traffic shifted onto the interchange ramps here going southbound, so you can only turn right into Williamsburg Way. You can no longer get across Verona Road, and then to get back onto Verona Road, that's also going to be a right turn. So there's a lot of changes going on here this morning, so that is going to cause delays there. Now, this is not only going to affect traffic, this is also affecting area businesses. If there's some good news, Raymond Road and McKee Road aren't too far away from this, so there are a couple of alternate routes that may work for area residents as they get to and from home, but for businesses around here like Lickertown, this is something that is directly affecting their day-to-day operations. So they're looking forward to it being over sooner rather than later.
This back area, the residents, the neighborhoods, they've kind of kept us going. They've supported us over the years. They've been great for us. But a lot of our business does rely on the traffic that goes out here on Verona Road, getting to and from our sign. So that hurts. You know, we've seen the numbers in the last couple of years because of that.
Lickertown manager Samuel Fossbender tells me May, June, and July are typically his 3 biggest months of the year for business, and unfortunately that's the scope of what this phase of construction is going to be this time around. Now, if all is planned and as weather cooperates, this is supposed to last until July, so this is something that they're going to be dealing with. And ladies, as you can see, we're already seeing massive backups here southbound on Verona Road, and the morning commute is barely picked up this morning, so I would imagine that this is going to be something we're going to be dealing with for quite some time, unfortunately.
Yeah, it's 6:04 and there are already backups. It's like a maze out there, Josh.
It really is. Yeah, we've seen a lot of people. This has been kind of a regular scene so far here within the last 15-20 minutes. So I would probably try to find something else this morning if you're headed this way.
Yeah, or get used to it. All right, Josh Spreiter reporting live for us. Thank you, Josh.
6:04 right now, and the search continues this morning for a missing 5-year-old from Illinois. Police say his parents aren't cooperating with authorities anymore. AJ Friend disappeared from his home in Crystal Lake, Illinois on Thursday of last week. In a 911 call released yesterday, AJ's dad told the dispatcher that he last saw him around 9:30 the night before when AJ went to bed. The investigation continues to focus on his family's home. Canines did not track AJ's scent anywhere else. AJ's 3-year-old brother has been put into protective custody. The state's attorney says Didn't refer rather to AJ's parents directly, but did say whoever is responsible for this should not hide the truth.
Students and parents down in Beloit are still looking for answers after learning about possible sexual assaults on a school trip to Florida. The school board met for the first time last night since those concerns were brought up. Students lined up with signs before that meeting even started. Once in the meeting, though, things were peaceful and respectful, and only one person spoke during public comment about those alleged assaults. We spoke with the leader of the protest outside, Gloria Heiss. She said this really boils down to transparency. The board hadn't addressed the issue, so Heiss went and talked to them about it, and she said that made all the difference.
I think if everybody had that chance to talk to them and they had the opportunity to bridge the gap and communicate with everybody, it would really reassure a lot of us that they actually have our back and they're here for us.
The assistant superintendent of the district says the board doesn't get involved in cases unless it's a discipline hearing, and it's not to that point. Until things move further, he said there's not much they can say.
Idea that we're working within protection of rights for all the students involved in this situation, due process, FERPA, et cetera. There are limited amounts of transparency that we can give, but as information comes about, the process will be as transparent as it can be within the confines of our legal guidance.
Assistant Superintendent Bosco said now the district and the board are looking into overnight trips for the high school to see if they're still a good idea. No decisions were made at last night's meeting.
Staying in Beloit, the family of a 5-year-old boy killed in a drive-by shooting will learn how long the last man charged in his death will spend in prison. 21-year-old Hugo Martinez pleaded guilty to a reduced charge of second-degree reckless homicide in February. He and 3 others were aiming for Austin Ramos Jr.'s father when the boy was shot and killed in January of 2016. Austin was sitting in the back seat of his dad's car at the time. Beloit police say that shooting stemmed from an old gang rivalry. Eric Salazar Mota and Isaac Torres were sentenced to 14 and 15 years in prison, respectively, in connection to the shooting. Sergio Ortiz Regosa, the one who fired the gun, was sentenced to 40 years in prison. We will update you on today's sentencing later on channel3000.com.
6:07 your time now. Some big news out of Rock County. A radioactive isotope used to detect the spread of cancer will soon be manufactured there.
This could lead to Beloit becoming a national hub for Molly-99 production and distribution. Christina Laurie is here this morning to tell us more about that product and the impact that this could have. Hi, Christina.
Hi, Leah and Danica. Now, overnight, the Beloit-based startup North Star Medical Radioisotopes announced a new $100 million financing deal that will boost its capacity to both process and produce Molly-99. Now, that's according to the Janesville Gazette. So how will this affect you? Molly-99 is injected into a patient to target specific organs and allow doctors to see if cancer has spread, coronary artery disease is present, or to diagnose disease of the gallbladder, lungs, or other organs. Now, before this new localized deal, medical technologists weren't able to perform certain tests with Molly-99 because of a severe shortage. The isotope has never been produced in the country before, instead imported from South Africa and Belgium. That process, as you can expect, is extremely expensive and impractical. Molly-99 naturally decays within hours, meaning companies cannot store it for long. Production of the cancer-detecting isotope is likely still a few years off, though. North Star still has to receive approval from the FDA. Then Molly-99 would be produced in the company's bases in both Beloit and in Columbia, Missouri. But it's certainly an asset to have it so close to us here in Madison.
It's so impressive. I mean, the first production of this isotope in the country, and it's happening an hour away.
And I know we've been talking a lot lately about drug prices. No word yet on how this will impact how much you pay.
Very interesting stuff. All right, Christina Laurie reporting for us. Thank you, Christina.
You're welcome.
A 24-year-old man from West Dallas is still coming down a bit from winning one of the biggest lottery jackpots in history. Up until this week, Manuel Franco's main financial goal was to have $1,000 in his checking account. But yesterday, he came forward as the sole winner of a $768 million Powerball jackpot. Franco bought $10 worth of tickets at a speedway in New Berlin last month. He says that winning ticket was actually stuck behind another one he had bought, and he almost completely missed it as he was checking numbers and throwing out the ones that weren't worth anything.
I see that second number, and my heart starts to pump and whatnot, and at that moment, I'm like, no freaking way, you know? Like, I go straight to that Powerball number, and I look at it, and it matched. And at this moment, I was going insane pretty much. And
I think he told reporters he yelled and screamed for like 10 minutes on end.
Rightfully so.
Yeah, right. Franco has been advised to take home the lump sum of $477 million, which means after taxes, he'll actually take home $326 million, a little more than that $1,000 goal. CBS This Morning is going to have more on this story coming up after 7.
So it's no coincidence that on the same day as that announcement, 2 Republican lawmakers are introducing the Lottery Privacy Act. Currently, lottery winners can't remain anonymous in Wisconsin, but this bill would stop the state from releasing the winner's name or address if they request it. Half a dozen states allow winners to stay anonymous. A couple of other states allow winners to form a trust with someone else as the face of that trust.
6:10 right now, and hundreds of Wisconsinites die by suicide here every single year. It is such a problem that a group of lawmakers is now assigned to figure out what the state can do to help people in crisis. The chair of that new task force will join us after the break.
But first, bit of a chilly start this morning, though this might end up being the best forecast Hattie has for us all week. Take a look at that sunrise. More of that sunshine is ahead in your first alert forecast when News 3 Now This Morning returns.
Good morning from the Hattie-O patio. A chilly start this morning, but skies are clear. Should be a gorgeous afternoon. High temperatures yesterday climbed into the mid-60s in most locations. The exception would be along the lakeshore. Milwaukee was noticeably cooler, but a nice day yesterday. Show this map so you can see that it was just a little bit warmer to the west, mid to upper 60s across much of Minnesota and Iowa. That's what I expect again today. So another beautiful day ahead. Wanted to show you this picture that Sue sent in. She took this picture 35 years ago, April 24th. We started out with 50 degrees in the morning, ended up with 4 inches of snow on the ground by the time the day was done. Now, I haven't seen any tulips yet this year, although they're pretty close. We have daffodils right now. Luckily, our forecast doesn't call for any of that frozen stuff anytime too soon. Here's a look at the weather track forecast. We are in between storm systems right now, but high pressure is going to keep things pretty quiet here across southern Wisconsin. So that rain to the south and north will track eastward today, not into our area. Here's a look at current temperatures. Some of the 6 o'clock observations are missing in northern Wisconsin, but you get the idea. It's a little chilly there. Temperatures are generally in the 30s through the Northwoods this morning. We have temps a little bit closer to 40 here in southern Wisconsin, but still it's a chilly start. 42 in Monroe, 43 now in Platteville and Mineral Point, 39 here in Madison, and 38 in Watertown. Winds are calm though, so there's no wind to factor in this morning. Should be a pretty quick warm up as well. Your future track forecast model shows you south winds and clear skies. Those two will combine to create a pretty fast warm up for the southern part of the state. Into the low 60s by lunchtime today. We get to keep that sunshine all day today with highs in the mid to upper 60s a little bit later on this afternoon. Now, overnight tonight, skies will remain clear. However, it's not going to be as cold. Temperatures only dropping into the mid 50s by 10 p.m. We'll drop about another 10 degrees into the mid 40s by daybreak tomorrow. A weak cold front is expected to move through the area. Chances for rain are pretty limited. It's just a slight chance. Temps should still climb into the 60s ahead of that front, but look for more clouds, especially during the afternoon, and that would be the time frame for any showers to pop up for the area. Not a lot of rain, though, in the forecast tomorrow, and it stays dry again on Friday with a high of 62. Shaping up to be kind of a chilly weekend, though, especially on Saturday with clouds and breezy conditions. Rain expected with highs only near 50 degrees. We stay in the 50s to start the next work week as well. Let's get a look at your first alert traffic maps this morning. We'll send it over to Josh Tim for all the details. Good morning, Josh.
Yeah, good morning. Watching a crash on the westbound Beltline at Rimrock in the right-hand lane. It is causing some extra brake lights this morning. Other roads here in Dane County not looking too bad except for southbound Verona Road between the Beltline and Highway PD. Ongoing road work in that area. Just make sure you take a different route if you can. Nothing to slow you down around campus. Volume is not an issue at this point. And other main routes heading into the city, they're moving at the usual speeds with no crashes or delays. With your first alert traffic, I'm Josh Tim.
All right, thank you so much, Josh, and thank you, Hattie. Happening today, a group of state lawmakers will begin the difficult task of preventing the hundreds of suicides that happen here in the state every year.
This is a bipartisan prevention task force that will look at what Wisconsin can do better to better protect anyone who might be struggling. Representative Joan Baldwin joins us this morning. She is the chair of this task force, talking a little bit more about what you guys hope to accomplish. What an ambitious goal here. Thank you for joining us.
Very happy to be here. And the whole point of the Suicide Prevention Task Force is to help raise awareness so that people actually learn how to listen for the cues when people are struggling and where they can reach out for help.
In your own district, I'm curious to hear what kind of challenges you've seen and then, what kind of things you've seen maybe work and you hope to kind of bring to the state level here.
Well, I have a very rural district,
yeah.
And actually rural areas do have a higher incidence of suicide than even urban districts. Farmers is the highest rate, occupation rate when it comes to suicide, so that's one of the areas we're going to be looking at. Also, the component for youth. We do a lot in Wisconsin, and over the research I've been doing over the last little over a year, there are things that we have been doing, but we can do more. So we're looking to increase those policy options. We have the NCSL, one of the national organizations, bringing us some of the national programs. Nevada's going to be coming in, talking about what they've been doing with their Office of Suicide Prevention, and just get some background from our own Department of Health Services on what those numbers are and what the policy areas that we can hopefully promote to do a better job.
We were talking during the break about how it might be surprising to folks that suicides are happening more in rural areas as opposed to urban areas. Do you think more programs need to be targeting those specific regions in our state?
Well, I think some of the bigger issues in doing that is just we have a shortage of folks that are able to do treatment, especially in the rural areas. And when it comes to some of those strong rural folks, they're not really the ones who are seeking help,
right.
You know, reaching out. So trying to make it easier for them through the talk line, the texting line, to find help and support, and to make aware through some training. We're going to be talking about QPR, question, persuade, refer, which is considered the CPR of mental health. Getting more people aware to watch for the telltale signs so that their friends and loved ones can help them if they're struggling.
All right, we want to make sure, as you mentioned, Representative Baldwin, that there is help out there. We want to make sure people know that. Here are just a couple of resources. Representative Baldwin just mentioned the Hope Line. You can just text that line, which is fantastic. If you want to talk to somebody, you see the National Suicide Prevention Lifeline. Want to mention, too, there are a number of these QPR trainings happening in our own community for free. If you're interested, we have some information and can certainly hook you up with those folks. But we appreciate your time, and we appreciate you guys trying to tackle this really tough issue.
Well, we're going to be traveling around the state. Our first meeting is this afternoon, starts at 11 o'clock. It will be on Wisconsin Eye, and we do have a website available with other resources and some of the background information that's going to be presented today and our forthcoming meetings as we travel around the state.
Thank you so much for joining us this morning. We really appreciate it.
Thank you for helping bring this awareness.
No problem. All right, 6:21 your time now. Up next today are some big shoes and some big sequin jackets to fill for the UW band, but we now know who will be taking over for Mike LaCrone as band director. We'll tell you who it is and what band members have to say about it up next.
And if we had a soundtrack for today, we'd be playing through Casey and the Sunshine Band, maybe Sonny and Cher. You can start to let the sunshine in, though, too.
Enough.
It's already out there. Yeah, there's never enough. Hattie's in with an update when News 3 Now This Morning returns.
Good morning from the News 3 Now First Alert Forecast Center. We're looking at a live look from the Queen Bee Radio Skycam in Platteville behind me. Good morning, Platteville. A beautiful start to the day, although a little chilly this morning. As you head to the bus stop, here's a look at current temperatures. Platteville's actually one of the warmer spots in our area with 44 degrees right now, 45 in Mineral Point. Only 39 here in Madison, though. Your bus stop weather forecast calls for quite a bit of sunshine today. Temperatures will warm quickly. Lunchtime temps in the 60s. Afternoon highs today, 67 degrees. So as the bus takes you home from school today, probably won't need the jacket. Temperatures will feel very comfortable. Our forecast does call for highs in the 60s right through the rest of this school week. Have a wonderful day.
Thank you so much, Hattie. All right, strike up the band. The UW Marching Band will officially be marching to the beat of a new director. Dr. Corey Pompey will fill the role of longtime band director Mike Leckrone. Dr. Pompey comes to us from the University of Nevada, Reno, where he was the band director there. Before that, he studied music at Alabama and then earned his doctorate in musical arts from the University of Texas, Austin. He beat out 25 other candidates, and both the school and band members say he was a clear favorite.
People liked his musicality, and his use of time was especially good. There was one candidate who didn't use the rehearsal time very efficiently, but Dr. Pompey definitely did. And he just has so much energy, and he's very kind.
Dr. Pompey will start his new job on July 20th. Certainly welcome to him.
We were talking earlier about how we're hoping for some flying motorcycles, glitzy jackets.
We're gonna have to meet him first to see if he's up for. Let's get him settled in first, and then maybe we'll see his fashion sense come out a little bit more.
Congrats to him, though. Glad to have him.
All right, we are keeping an eye on Verona Road this morning as another traffic shift could certainly delay your morning commute. Josh Sprider will be live with the latest coming up.
And you could soon have a little bit longer to pay off any parking tickets you might have. Good news for me, I know. More local news is coming up in our last half hour of News 3 Now this morning. The countdown is on. Democratic Party leaders are starting the planning process for next year's national convention in Milwaukee.
And I'm Josh Spreiter, live along Verona Road this morning. We have important details about the next phase of construction here, how it will impact your commute and also area businesses.
From the Channel3000.com Alert Center, this is News 3 Now this morning.
Good morning and welcome to the final half hour of News 3 Now this morning. It is 6:30 on this Wednesday, April 24th, and traffic is already moving on Verona Road. You better expect those delays.
Yeah, it's moving a bit slowly. We should add. It's not as quick as usual, even at this hour. What is wonderful today is that sunrise and the beautiful weather we are expecting. Let's turn it over to Hattie now with a look at that. Hey, Hads.
Good morning. I guess pack the sunglasses and the patience as you head out the door this morning. There will be some delays on Verona Road. Let's take a look, though, first at our current temperatures. It's a little chilly outside this morning. 36 in Camp Douglas, 38 in Juneau and Watertown, 39 here in Madison. Still some 40s, though, in far southwestern Wisconsin. If you take a light jacket this morning, you're definitely not going to need it later on today. As you head out the door, look for temperatures to warm quickly. Already in the 60s as you head towards lunch hour. Highs will be in the mid to upper 60s later on this afternoon, with that sunshine sticking around all day. Let's get a look at those first alert traffic maps this morning. Again, a new traffic pattern on Verona Road is slowing things down already as you are south of the Beltline. And an accident on the map as well. This is on the westbound side of the Beltline, the entry ramp from Rimrock Road. There are some delays in that area as well, so be aware of that. Here's a look at your travel times and speeds as you head towards Madison, down to about 35 to 40 miles an hour on Verona Road. So you're adding a couple of extra minutes right now. I would expect those delays to grow a little bit as volume increases this morning.
Hattie, I gotta say, though, we are looking at that sunrise next to you right now, and you will need the sunglasses. It's no joke.
Yeah, the sun is up in the east. It is going to stick with us all day today. We have a day that'll be just about as nice as yesterday.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much. We appreciate it.
Sounds good.
So if you are taking Verona Road this morning or any time over the next couple of months, take Hattie's advice and pack your patience because there's some new construction there starting today.
That's right. Josh Spreiter is live near Williamsburg Way this morning with how that change could affect your commute and affect some businesses around there. Good morning, Josh.
Good morning, ladies. Yeah, we are already seeing some massive delays out here this morning. The morning commute really hasn't even picked up. Overnight, they shifted the southbound lanes here on Verona Road to the interchange ramps. So this is now over. This is only affecting the southbound lanes. So here at the Williams Bay intersection, all the way down to the McKee Road intersection, this is where you're going to see this on the southbound lanes. Here at Williamsburg Way, you can only turn right into the intersection. You cannot cut across Verona Road anymore. And the only way to get back onto Verona Road is taking a right turn. So this is what we're dealing with right here because they're going to be building a bridge here over the next few months. Now, this is not only affecting commuters, it's also going to be making it tricky for businesses to keep up here. The manager of Lickertown tells me he's seen a steady drop in numbers since construction on Verona Road began. And to make things worse, May, June, and July are his biggest months of the year. And that's what the scope of this phase of the project is supposed to be. So he's concerned and hopes he can rely on the area neighborhood to help him stay open.
We've seen places downtown and stuff, when they're officially done, it looks nice, it's clean, easier places to park, traffic's better, so we'll get there. You know, it sucks. There's only so much you can do.
Many surrounding businesses have closed or relocated recently too, but it's not known if that was because of the impacts of the construction on the area or if it was for other reasons. If there is good news here, if you're looking for an alternative route, you've got Raymond Road just to the north, you've got McKee Road just to the south, so there are some ways to kind of avoid this area. Now this is going to be lasting into July, but this is just the start of the project. We know this is going to be running into next year, so this is something that we're going to be dealing with for quite some time, ladies. Again, traffic moving actually pretty good recently within the last 5 or 10 minutes or so. At 6 o'clock, we saw some massive backups. So I think it's going to be, as people figure out this new shift and the change, we're going to have a lot to deal with here in these first couple days.
And that's always the thing, right, Josh? You creep up on it and it creeps up on you, and all of a sudden you're making a turn where you're not supposed to, and you know, it's just chaos.
Yes, yeah, there's been a lot of confusion already. We've seen or heard a few honking of the horns, so I'm sure people are a little frustrated, but you just got to pack that patience and we'll all get through it together.
Oh, yeah. All right, we certainly will. Thank you, Josh Spreiter, reporting live from Verona Road. We appreciate it.
In other local news this morning, we are talking about parking tickets. Odds are you've gotten one and forgot to pay it off, but soon you might have a little bit more time to do that. Currently, drivers have 10 days to pay their ticket before a $10 late fee is added. After 21 days, they receive yet another $10 fine. Under a new proposal, though, put forth by Alder Mike Tierney, the grace period would increase to 14 and 25 days, respectively. While that might not seem like a lot, Tierney says it's designed so people who are paid every 2 weeks receive another paycheck before that deadline to pay the ticket fee.
Governor Tony Evers is clarifying what's going on with Foxconn this morning, saying the Taiwanese tech company approached the state about renegotiating its contract, not the other way around. The governor announced last week that the contract was changing when it comes to Foxconn's massive production plant outside Racine. Governor Evers says he doubts now that the company will honor its original promise to employ 13,000 people there. Republicans are accusing Evers of trying to undermine the deal. In a letter to Foxconn executive Dr. Louis Wu, the governor says Wu was the one to bring up wanting to change the contract to, quote, better align the terms with the evolving project and global marketplace.
Democratic Party leaders are waking up in Milwaukee this morning as planning for next year's national convention continues. They arrived in that city yesterday to start touring the area to figure out the logistics of the event, including hotels, safety, and the layout over at the Pfizer Forum. The convention is expected to draw 50,000 visitors and could have impacts for hotels and restaurants across southern Wisconsin, including right here in Madison. Party officials will continue those meetings today before moving to Milwaukee to start full-time planning in about 6 to 8 months. The convention is scheduled for July 13th to the 16th in 2020.
There's an opportunity this weekend to help protect your identity. We would love to see you out for Shred Fest. News 3 Now is partnering with Pelletary and the Better Business Bureau to offer free document shredding Saturday morning. This is from 8:30 to 11 at Warner Park. We're asking everyone to limit your papers to 3 bags or boxes per vehicle, but be sure to bring it out and we will be ready to help. For more information, you can go to channel3000.com/shredfest or get a reminder by signing up on our Shredfest Facebook event. 6:37 right now. Police say the parents of a missing boy in Illinois are no longer answering questions. We will have an update on that case in the morning sprint.
But first, could we see some little polar bear cubs running around soon at the Henry Vila Zoo? We sure hope so. Zoo officials are hoping for a first-of-its-kind pregnancy. We're going to tell you about that coming up on News 3 Now this morning.
All right, sharing your My Morning picture this morning. This one comes from Julie. She posted this on Facebook. These are actually the frozen cranberry bogs up in Plover.
What a neat picture.
Yeah, I think it's from a little earlier on than maybe.
Lord, I hope so.
Yeah, I would hope so too. But you never know. I mean, that snow took forever to melt up there. So
that's true.
Yeah, but a really cool shot and a reminder that hopefully these cranberries will be all thawed out by the end of the week.
No promises. Thanks so much for sharing, Julie. What does your morning look like? Take a picture, post it on our Facebook page or on Twitter, and use the hashtag MyNews3Morning. We share our favorites right here on the program. So you all know we love the polar bears at the Henry Vilas Zoo here on the program, and we've got some good news. There could be a few little polar bear cubs running around in the exhibit soon. A partnership between the Henry Vilas, Cincinnati, and Brookfield zoos might help Barrett the polar bear become a mom. They'll use artificial insemination from a male bear at the Brookfield Zoo to give Barrett a chance at having cubs this year. Barrett's future mate, Nunique, is still too young to breed. Artificial insemination has never worked in polar bears before, so if this does happen, the pregnancy would be the first of its kind.
That is really, really awesome.
Who doesn't want more polar bears running around the Henry
definitely
Vilas
not,
Zoo?
especially cute little cubs. I think that would bring a lot of people out to the zoo.
You and me both.
Yeah, definitely. So it might be a good day for a swim for Barrett or Nunique. Yeah, so Hattie has the sunshine shining down this morning already and throughout the day. That's coming up in your Wednesday forecast.
But first, it's April 24th. If you have a little kiddo turning 3 soon, please let us know so we can show their picture on TV. Thanks for watching News 3 Now this morning.
Good morning from the News 3 Now First Alert Weather Center. Beautiful sunrise this morning. Here's a look from the Edgewater Skycam over downtown Madison. A great start to the day. Temperatures are going to stay pretty mild. Take a look at your temperature outlook. Normal high is 61. We're above that today and tomorrow, right about there on Friday. Taking a dip down though through the weekend into the start of next week with temperatures topping only in the 50s. It is going to be quite chilly this weekend with some rain in the forecast as well. Now, no rain on the radar map around here. Southern Wisconsin and the northern part of the state dry for that matter. Little bit of shower activity well off to the north and west in the UP and the Arrowhead region of Minnesota. That will likely track into the UP of Michigan a little bit later on today. Rain to the south as well. A very slow-moving storm system continues to bring shower and thunderstorm activity to central Texas into parts of Arkansas this morning. But otherwise, notice how quiet it is on either coast. The forecast for today, travel weather-wise, is looking actually pretty nice. No flight delays right now in the area. Dallas, San Antonio, Tulsa, Memphis may see some delays later on today with those showers and thunderstorms in the area. But otherwise, on the west coast of the United States, we're looking at sunshine, 70 in Denver as well as LA today. On the East Coast, a little bit warmer. Atlanta's in the 80s, upper 70s in Washington, D.C., mid 60s in New York. Pretty similar to what we have here in the Midwest section of the country. We're topping in the mid to upper 60s here in Madison as well today. Two storm systems on the map, one to the north and one to the south, but in between, high pressure dominates the weather today. That's going to guarantee us a lot of sunshine. Now watch this cold front as we go through the day on Thursday. That front is going to slide through the state. It'll likely bring more clouds. Doesn't have a lot of moisture to work with, but we may see a few showers pop up during the afternoon. Things then return quiet once again on Friday as high pressure builds back into the area. But there is a storm system on the map for the upcoming weekend. This storm system moving out of the Rockies will bring rain on Saturday to southern Wisconsin. Temperatures across the upper Midwest, 30s and 40s, pretty commonplace, although Minneapolis is at 53 with a bit more cloud cover this morning. We're a little bit cooler here in southern Wisconsin, upper 30s and low 40s this morning, so a chilly start to the day. South winds and plenty of sunshine, though, will allow temperatures to warm quickly into the 60s by lunchtime. 67 for our high today in Madison, 68 in Boscoville, 64 today in Platteville. Temperatures will stay pretty comfortable through the evening hours and overnight. It's not going to be quite as cold. Temperatures will bottom out in the mid 40s tomorrow morning. Here's a look at your extended forecast. 60s through the rest of this week. Again, Friday, lots of sunshine with a high of 62. Breezy and quite chilly, though, on Saturday. 50 degrees is the high. We'll have to watch that storm system. It may keep us even cooler than that. So if you have outdoor plans on Saturday, I know Crazy Legs is scheduled. It's going to be a little wet for the run and chilly. But at least we won't have any of this stuff on the ground. Me and Belle in Madison looking out at the snow piles. They have a different view today. I think they'll be running outside.
Yeah, I was about to say they won't even be looking at it. They'll be right in it.
Perfect day for a pet walk.
It is.
All right. Thank you, Hattie.
You're welcome.
Morning Sprints coming up next right here on News 3 Now this morning.
6:51, time now for the morning sprint. Hattie has a gorgeous Wednesday forecast in store for us.
You'll need the shades driving anywhere, but Josh Sprider's along Verona Road where there could be more headaches in store for that morning commute. Hi, Josh.
Good morning. Yeah, we are already seeing some pretty big delays out here this morning, and project managers say you can expect those delays here over the next couple of months. Overnight, traffic was shifted southbound onto the new interchange ramps from the Williamsburg Way to McKee Road. The Verona Road and Williamsburg Way intersection is also now partially closed. You can no longer cut across Verona Road at that intersection. Only right turns in and out of the intersection will be allowed as crews work to build a bridge here. Now, if all goes as planned and the weather cooperates, it's expected to last until sometime in July. We talked to area residents and businesses who say they're all ready for it to be over.
Josh, thank you. Overseas, the Sri Lankan government says the president there has asked for the resignations of the defense secretary and national police chief after bombings on Easter Sunday. 359 people have now been confirmed dead. 45 of those were children. A total of 60 people have been arrested, and authorities are looking for more suspects that could still have explosives. The Sri Lankan government allegedly knew about the potential for an attack before it happened. ISIS is claiming responsibility.
North Korean leader Kim Jong-un is in Russia this morning for his first ever summit with Vladimir Putin. The U.S. has not made any progress when it comes to denuclearizing the Korean peninsula. Kim and Putin are not expected to reach any agreements during this meeting or make a joint statement after the summit. But previous meetings between Russian and North Korean leaders have typically worked against American interests.
Boeing is set to report its earnings on Wall Street for the first time since the grounding of its 737 MAX 8 jets. The company has faced questions about software and safety features on those jets since a fatal crash in Ethiopia. Boeing has reported 0 new orders for the MAX jets since those concerns were brought up. The company will announce its earnings before the opening bell at 8:30 this morning.
Police say the parents of a missing 5-year-old in Illinois are no longer cooperating with the investigation. AJ Friend disappeared from his home in Crystal Lake, Illinois on Thursday of last week. His father was the one to report him missing. The investigation continues to focus on the family's home. Canines didn't track AJ's scent anywhere else. The state's attorney did not refer to AJ's parents directly, but did say whoever's responsible should not hide the truth.
Sunshine in the forecast all day today. Skies are clear for the southern part of the state this morning. Temperatures are a little chilly. We're starting in the upper 30s and low 40s. We'll climb quickly through the 50s, though, already back into the 60s by lunch hour. Temperatures top at 67 degrees later on this afternoon.
Thanks so much, Hattie. Democratic leaders will continue their meetings in Milwaukee today as they start planning for next year's national convention. They arrived yesterday to get the lay of the land and start planning logistics for the event, including hotels, safety, and the layout of the Fiserv Forum. The convention is expected to draw 50,000 visitors to southern Wisconsin, with businesses here in Madison also expecting a boost. The convention is scheduled for July 13th through the 16th next year.
Governor Tony Evers says Foxconn approached the state about renegotiating its contract, not the other way around. The governor announced last week that he doubts the Taiwanese tech company will actually hire the 13,000 people it promised to at its massive production plant outside Racine. Republicans have now accused Evers of trying to undermine the current deal. In a letter to Foxconn's executive, Governor Evers says he was the one to wanted the change to the contract to adjust to the global marketplace.
24-year-old Manuel Franco from West Dallas is now one of the richest people in Wisconsin after claiming his $768 million jackpot prize. Meanwhile, 2 Republican lawmakers are introducing a bill that would allow lottery winners to stay anonymous. The proposal would stop the state from releasing the winner's name or address. Half a dozen states allow winners to stay anonymous. Some other states allow winners to form a trust with someone else as the face of that trust.
Students and parents in Beloit are still looking for answers after learning about possible sexual assaults on a school trip to Florida. The school board met for the first time last night since those concerns were brought up. Students lined up with signs before the meeting and even started, and the district and the board are now looking into overnight trips for the high school to see if they are a good idea. No decisions were made during last night's meeting.
A radioactive isotope used to detect the spread of cancer will soon be manufactured in Rock County. The Beloit-based North Star Medical Radioisotopes has a $100 million financing deal to boost its capacity to process and produce Molly-99, according to the Janesville Gazette. Molly-99 is injected into a patient to target specific organs and allow doctors to see if cancer is spread, if coronary artery disease is present, or to diagnose disease of the gallbladder, lungs, or other organs. It's never been produced in America before. Production will begin in a few years following FDA approval.
Thank you so much, Christina. 6:57 now. Let's turn over to Josh Tim with a look at your first alert traffic. Hey, Josh.
Hey, good morning. Starting to get busier on the westbound Beltline between Stoughton Road and West Broadway from the usual crowd, and heading eastbound, grab the shades. You're dealing with some bright sun right now. Inbound John Nolan tapping the brakes near the Rimrock and Olin Avenue intersections, moving into the downtown area. Ongoing road work on Verona Road between Highway PD and the Beltline causing heavy delays. Plan ahead and take a different route if you can. But other main routes leading into the city, moving at the usual speeds with no crashes or delays. Your first alert traffic, I'm Josh Tim.
Thanks so much, Josh.
And here's the view from the Edgewater Sky Cam. Downtown Madison, sun shining on the buildings. A little bit of low-level haze in the atmosphere this morning, but no issues with fog. Here's a look at our forecast today. We have sunshine through the day with temperatures climbing to a high of 67 degrees.
Enjoy that sunshine, bring the shades, and be careful on Verona Road this morning. Have a great day.